So if you're wondering whether to show price on your website, well, the answer might surprise you and your customers. In this video, we're going to unpack pricing, how to display it on your website, whether you should or not, the good, the bad, the pros, the cons, and we're going to dive into it together. So many people that I speak to don't put pricing on their websites. They're nervous about doing that because of competitors, because people will find out their rates, you might put people off if they're expensive, all this kind of stuff. The first rule I want you to understand is pricing has a level of transparency, which is really helpful for potential buyers. Marcus Sheridan talks about the 5 big topics that people search for when they're looking for information. Price is the number one. People are looking for price. They want to know, how much does it cost to work with a social media agency? How much does it cost for an electrician? How much does it cost for this, right? They want to know about price. So avoiding the price question just puts you at a little bit of risk. Now I'm going to talk you through how you can do it without giving away your price so that you've got the answers. So the first thing you need to understand is by putting price on your website, it builds trust. The second thing it's going to do is also going to filter out non-qualified leads. So those that maybe can't afford the price, it's going to filter them out. So you don't need to speak to time wasters. And thirdly, it's going to match your customer expectation with the price and the value of the service that they're going to get. So how do we display pricing on our website? Well, the best way to display pricing is to talk about price rather than saying, oh, it costs X amount. Unless you're B2C, which is great because it's a product, you can have a set price. But if you're in a business like I am, you're a B2B business, and you want to talk about price. So how much does it cost to work with a marketing agency? Well, it ranges from X to Y. Depending on what you need, the level of service and what you're looking for, it can really range. If you're looking for a top-notch agency in London, they're going to be a lot more expensive to an agency maybe in Chesterfield. A really good way to display price is by using tiers, different packages, starter, pro, advanced. In the olden days, I like to say, they used to say bronze, silver, gold. Really simple, okay? And then you can list all the benefits and features within each package. Use bullet points to explain what's included in each package, and then also you can say prices start from X. So you don't necessarily have to give them a direct quote of how much it's going to cost. You can say our prices start from 1,500 quid. This allows you to leave a little bit of room for bespoke packages, and you can then customize the price based on the person that sits in front of you and their additional needs. The biggest common mistakes to avoid is trying to overcomplicate pricing, hiding it behind too many clicks. If I've got to search and use a lot of brain power to find the price of working with you, okay, it's just going to put me off. Make it transparent, make it really accessible, okay, have our pricing, a page on your website that's in the menu bar that you can navigate to straight away. I guarantee that'll probably be the most clicked page on your website if you do it right and you talk about price. We've just launched this in our agency, so you can see our 3-tiered approach, our programs, our core services, and explaining about price. Okay, what influences price? The speed, the frequency, the size. And there's questions within that are answered because most people that I speak to have the same questions. So we understand it. It means we're providing empathy and we're educating the audience and the users that are having a seller-free experience. Okay, Marcus Sheridan talks about having a seller-free experience. 85% of buyers want to have that. Okay, so they want to navigate it and do it all themselves. You go into a restaurant now, we did it recently. You go into a restaurant, you sit down, there's a QR code on your table. You can scan it, you can make the order from your phone at the restaurant without having to speak to a salesperson. And finally, pricing positions you as the authority, either at the low end or the high end of the service environment. So if you have an expensive service at, let's say, 15 grand, it costs 15 grand to work with us minimum, or is it costing you 1,500 quid? And there's also this thing called price anchors. It's quite big if you compare watches, okay? So if you've got a Rolex that's going to cost 50 grand, but you put that next to another watch that's maybe only 20 grand, there's a big difference. And you put that next to a watch that's 10 grand, yeah, the watch that's 10 grand seems cheap compared to the 50 grand Rolex. Price anchors really also help if you want people to have an ideal service, so working with you, and you have 3 of them, right? So we said about our tiered approach. Yeah, so you've got 3. The package in the middle is probably the one that you want to get most people on. Everybody chooses the package in the middle. So making sure that you've got that clearly identified on your website, clearly presented, and you're talking about the price. You could have a blog article just on your website that lists the pros and cons, all the different benefits of people within your industry. Think about this specifically for you. If you're an IT manufacturer, if you're a tech consultant, if you develop apps, whatever you do, make sure you've got pricing on your website and you're talking about the service. Okay, not necessarily are it going to cost me 10 grand to develop an app. You don't need to do that if you don't want to do that, but tell me about the process. Why is it expensive? Why does certain stuff cost this much? Educate me. Okay, that's what buyers want. They want to be educated to have a seller-free experience. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, smash the subscribe button. You can visit our pricing page in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.